everyone. My name is Leah Garcia. I'm a senior broadcasting major here at High Tech High School, and thank you all for registering for the Relationships 101 session. The Our Life Euphoria play, but quite frankly on a budget, because I have no idea who financed that for them. The Consensus Group has cultivated an interactive, forum-based play written by talented writers Nanki Nagpal, Saranya Ganeshan, and Lorelai Mafute. Round of applause for them, everyone. And performed by incredible actors, some who are even on Nickelodeon, which we all know, CJ Martinez, Arjun Atale, Amelia Gallagher, Hannah Beamer, Lorelai Mafute, Taylor Shaw, David, Francesco Mali, and Dylan Nally. Another round of applause for everyone. The impetus behind this play stems from the Consensus nonprofit mission, a nonprofit I, Leah Garcia, alongside my good friend Ariel Prevor created, that aids in educating the youth on topics of consent, self-love, healthy relationships, and resiliency, while eradicating the stigma around these conversations.
Okay, and before we begin, this play does cover a lot of serious topics regarding alcohol manipulation and sexual coercion, so if you feel uncomfortable at any time, feel free to step out. And also, this is an interactive play, so the structure is there's going to be different skits taking place on stage, and we are going to freeze the skits, and then that's where you guys come in, and we're going to be having a conversation about these different topics.
Right.
Before we begin, thank you to Miss Arias and to Miss Murphy for helping us make this play happen, Jojo working audio, and Jacob is running lights back there.
Yo-yo.
And also follow Consentus.org on Instagram.
On Instagram, guys. Okay, so right now I invite you guys to pay attention, participate, sit back, and allow yourselves to be filled with the dazzling auras and hardships of teen relationships. Topics all of you can relate to, and quite frankly, we all need to learn.
I told you, this is the best movie ever.
I could literally fall asleep right now. So boring.
Tonight was so fun.
Where are you going? Stay a little.
I can't. I told you I'm going to a party with some of my friends tonight.
Oh, right. Well, who's gonna be there? Henry and George?
Yeah, and Leela too.
Oh, Leela's gonna be there? You know, I don't like the two of you hanging out when I'm not there.
Come on, Julia. We've been through this before. Julie and I have known each other since kindergarten. We're literally just friends.
Mark, remember what happened last time?
Leela, Julia, babe, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
I don't want you to go tonight.
Julie, it's already planned. I can't cancel.
But I don't want you to see her. Just tell her not to come, then you can go.
Julia, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, fine. Then choose. Leela or me?
Freeze.
What's wrong with the situation?
Manipulation, blackmail.
Okay, wait, guys, quiet down so we can hear him. Bino, go.
I think the girlfriend's isolating the boyfriend.
Anybody else?
Great point.
I think she's using manipulation tactics on him.
Okay. Jaheen.
She's not trusting with him.
Okay. Ashley. He shouldn't have gone to the party.
Yeah, wait,
Okay, Sam.
I mean, she said what happened last time, so clearly there was something there that shouldn't have been there. So I think it's just a trust thing in general.
Okay. Yes.
She's not respecting her boundaries.
Hers.
She's being very jealous of the relationship that they have and assuming that every single time they're going to be together that something's going to happen.
Yeah, and definitely you all made some very good points. In this scene, I think Bino said it, that she's trying to isolate him from the rest of his friends, and also what you said, that it's a trust issue overall, and she should be more trusting of him, and also he shouldn't be doing anything to betray her trust.
Yeah, in the first place. You made some valid points. You know, he definitely got her name wrong, which is something that should never happen. That was the big no-no. But it's important to have trust in a relationship. It's the foundation of every relationship, and you can't grow together as a couple if you don't have trust in one another.
Yeah.
I'm going to this party. You come here now.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Party's lit. Okay. Oh, hey, George.
Oh, hey.
I didn't know you were coming tonight. Hey, Henry.
Hey. Oh, no, I'm good. I'm driving, so.
Oh, come on. You're not gonna have fun without it. Don't be boring.
Oh, no, thanks. No, I get it.
Henry.
Hey, Sasha.
Yeah, we're gonna go over there.
Yeah, have fun, you two.
So, how was your day?
It was so good.
Awesome.
Are you sure you don't want to drink?
Oh, no, I'm driving.
Do you want to go do something?
I don't know what that means.
Just say yes.
No, I mean, seriously, Sasha, I don't know what that means. So, no, I'm good.
Yes, you do. Henry.
Sasha, really, look, I like you, but.
Then let's go.
No, I'm not interested in doing whatever you're thinking.
But you like me.
Dude,
Bro, just go.
but I don't.
Freeze. What's wrong with this situation? Can anyone raise their hands and tell me what's wrong here? Naima. Okay, what about it?
Like they are completely ignoring everything.
Okay, anyone else?
You
Devin?
definitely get pressure into something you don't want to do,
Okay.
which is not good.
Yeah. Jaheim?
He's not uncomfortable if you just like peer pressure him and he doesn't want to do.
Yeah. That's all some pretty great points. Does anyone have anything else that they noticed?
Look up. Leah, look up. Look up.
Oh, hi.
Bad friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I noticed the red pants guy talking to I assumed to be Lori. I think it's Lori, the guy.
Okay, any other points? Yes.
Yeah, she's using the fact that
Sorry, can you say that again?
he's using the fact that he likes her to like get what she wants, even though he doesn't want that.
Yeah. So it's normal to want to spend a lot of time with someone when you first meet them, but it's important that you're both on the same page with how the relationship is moving. In a healthy relationship, you're not rushed or pressured in a way that makes you feel overwhelmed. It's important to then set boundaries that each partner or person you're interacting with respects. See, in a healthy relationship, you don't let one person's preferences and opinions dominate. And instead, you hear each other out and make compromises when you don't want the same thing. If things are getting too intense and someone is rushing you, then you know something's wrong, right? If they're coming on too strong, if they're rushing in. That's why you have to set boundaries in place. And lastly, the word no can look like many things. Silence, resistance, unconsciousness, moving away. And what we see here, clearly, there's a lack of consent here. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? Touch all bases? Yes.
Hey, Bella.
Oh my god, did you just see that?
Wait,
George asked me to hang out.
he asked you to hang out?
Yeah,
Bella, that's the worst idea.
why?
You haven't heard, he's talking to every girl at this school. You really want to be one of them?
I mean, we're just friends for right now, so I don't see why I couldn't go.
Are you even listening to me? Oh my god. Like, I would never lie to you, but like that's just not a good idea. And I didn't want to tell you this, but yesterday he tried to talk to me.
Well, do you want me to? Because it honestly seems like you do, and that's why you don't want me to go.
What are you even saying? Like, don't put this on me now. I'm just trying to look out for you as your best friend.
Well, if you were really my best friend, you would just be happy for me and stay out of it.
Like, you're clearly not even listening, and I'm just trying to prevent something bad from happening. You guys would never work out.
What's wrong with the situation? So basically in friendships, kindness is imperative in any relationship, whether it's romantic or friendly. You're caring and empathetic to one another and provide comfort and support. So within like any relationship, there should be respect, and your partner and friend should cheer for you when you achieve something, support your hard work and dreams, and appreciate you. Here, there is like manipulation going on. Manipulation can be dangerous when someone tries to control your decisions, actions, or emotions by using devious tactics to their advantage. Manipulation is often hard to spot because it can be expressed in subtle or past aggressive ways. You know you're being manipulated if someone's trying to convince you to do something you don't feel comfortable doing, ignores you until they get their way, or tries to influence your feelings. So how is there like manipulation going on in this scene?
I got you, Sam. She's telling her it's not a good idea for her to hang out with him, or whatever she said.
So do you think she's being a good friend or a bad friend? Like, is she
Bad
warning her
Taylor.
about him?
Bad Taylor.
Anyone else?
She's trying to mask that she cares about her by saying that he gets with everyone, but in reality it's pretty obvious that she just wants to get with him.
Caesar?
I think they're both kind of doing something to each other, in a sense where they're kind of like, one's saying it's like, you shouldn't be with them. One's saying the right thing, but then she was the one who was like, I think it's just because you want to get with him, which is like, well, she didn't even say that. Until after then Taylor started kind of unraveling and being like, well, maybe I'm just saying it. So I feel like they're both participating in this kind of situation.
Yeah. What does manipulation look like to you guys, in your opinion? What is manipulation? None of you guys know what manipulation is. That's kind of concerning.
When Franny was pointing out that she was obviously doing something bad, and Taylor was kind of like, oh no, I'm a good friend, I would never do that to you. Which is like kind of like reversing the guilt back onto her.
Oh.
When people like kind of make you question your reality and like what you think and what you know by telling you that like they know what's best for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
This party is dope. Well, I'm gonna go back to the next one. Yo, someone's texting you. Should I check who it is? No, I'm coming back soon. Someone popular, are you sure? No, I'll be there in a sec. Yo, bro, what are you doing, man?
Yo, I didn't know you were texting Jennifer.
Hey, give me my phone, my brother.
Nah, these texts are too good.
Freeze! What's wrong with this situation? Evan?
It's messed up. You shouldn't be taking his principal without permission.
Yes.
He's really not respecting his boundaries. Like he said no multiple times, he's just pushing him further and further.
Do you still think that his friend has the ability to check his messages if it's an important message?
No.
That's his property. Like you can't touch that.
I know, but it's the hottest girl in school.
I don't care.
It's Jennifer.
That's his phone. It's his property. Leave it alone.
Yes. So, a good way to remember consent is fries. Consent is freely given. Consent is reversible. Consent is informed. Consent is enthusiastic. And consent is specific.
So
That
we,
was
yeah,
the
so,
opposite.
right. So we chose fries because I like fries. Everyone here, I see some of my friends, you all like fries. Don't even. But yeah, so exactly what she said. Can anyone just repeat what she said as in what the acronym actually stands for? No? Okay. Does anyone want to give the F a try? What do you think the F means in fries for consent?
No, for consent.
No? Amelia?
Really given.
Yes. Pay attention.
The R.
The R. The R.
It's reversible.
Yes. The I. Any of the boys? I. Anyone?
Informative.
Or any of the girls and boys?
Informed.
The E.
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiastic. Yes. And the S. The last one. The S.
Specific.
Okay, great. So yeah, we can clearly identify that this scene is about consent. And like we said, consent isn't just in a sexual relationship, it's actually in every single thing that we do. It's the fundamental basis of every relationship. So it doesn't just have to be sexual, it can be in anything. It can be in when your parents come into your room without asking, that's an example of them not abiding by consent. Or when someone takes your phone, or if someone touches my hair. No, I'm just kidding. But yes, that is also an example of consent. They're doing a really great job freezing, by the way. Okay, does anyone have anything else they would want to add or any questions they have to ask about this scene or consent in general?
Okay. So now we have a little bit more time than expected. So we are going to do a talk back session with the cast where you can ask the cast questions about consent and other topics like that. So cast.
Guys. Also, really quickly, who here can identify which one is the casting, or who thinks that one of these people is casting Victoria?
Wait.
If it were up to me, I'd say more Taylor's role.
Oh! Yeah, I'm Cassie.
Or Amelia's role.
Amelia.
Thank you. She is dressed like Cassie.
So you guys can raise your hand, ask questions, and the cast is going to lead a conversation about consent.
Yes. Mr. Buccio, do you have any questions?
Don't put me on the spot like that. I'm just here to, observe. I mean, I do. Does everybody understand what's being portrayed here?
Yes.
And the importance of it?
Yes. Okay. All right. Fine. Let's do a recap then.
He has a question.
First I was supposed to start off by saying, W acting, this is such a good performance.
Thank you.
Not even lie, I saw you guys out there. You guys were going crazy. But I got a question. You guys did they feel awkward and you guys froze for a bit?
Yeah.
I was looking at you guys look mad weird. You guys look mad awkward. But not weird. I just want to say, how did it feel?
Okay, Arjun, go ahead.
How does alcohol?
Guys, quiet down.
How does alcohol affect consent? Whether you give it or whether you.
Do any of the cast members want to answer that?
Alcohol is bad.
Lorelai.
So I feel like if someone is intoxicated or inebriated, it's an automatic no. They're not fully there enough for them to actually say yes. So even if they do say yes, leave them alone and actually, get them somewhere safe instead. Don't try and take advantage of them. Bring them home, bring them to, their trusted friend, whoever, but just even though you say yes while you're intoxicated does not mean yes at all. You're not there, so.
It's honestly better to be safe than sorry because when intoxicated or impaired, we tend to make decisions that we can sometimes regret. Yes, Olivia.
question for Taylor Shaw. I'm just wondering, like, what are some of like the signs to recognize manipulation, and like, what are the best ways for you to avoid, you know, falling into that trap?
Well, you know, in certain situations, like how we said, like talking about like intoxication, just like always be aware and like full of your wits, because like when
Well,
you're
even
just,
like not intoxicated.
yeah, it's like not intoxicated. It's just like, just kind of just be aware of things in general. Just like pay close attention and just don't think that because they're your friend, they always have your best interest. Because, you know, like trust issues, like people can stab you in the back. So it's just always like, just be confident in your decision and like always follow your gut feeling, because you know better than your friend. So don't take their advice over yours. Did that answer your question? Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions they'd like to ask? No? Great, so I'll ask you guys some questions. Okay. So, what's the appropriate reaction, or how do you guys personally react when your partner sets boundaries? Respect them, great. Anything else?
Listen to them.
Listen to them.
See if I think it's appropriate, and then
We should always respect our partner's boundaries. Okay. Okay, Cass, do you have anything you'd like to add on boundaries? How do you guys set your boundaries or identify your boundaries?
I think it's really important to set them like in the beginning of the relationship, so that as you go on, like you're aware of what they are okay with and aren't okay with. So.
I completely agree. Jaylene?
Also, I think like when you're setting a boundary, it's good to think about like if this was done to me, would I like it? Because then you wouldn't do it to them.
Exactly. There needs to be that mutual respect there and consideration. Olivia?
But I feel like it's also okay to like, even if it is later on in the relationship, like maybe you had like boundaries like in the beginning, like different ones, like if something else makes you uncomfortable, to be able to speak up about it and like feel you need to be honest and open.
Yeah, great. Aiden?
I was gonna say, I feel like on the other side of that, you also have to be willing to compromise, because I feel like it can't be, I guess, what am I trying to say? It can't be weighted to one side. You know, somebody can't feel like they're safe, making the other person feel uncomfortable or unsafe.
Does anyone else have anything they'd like to add? Hannah?
Yeah, I think you also like need to provide a safe space for your partners so they can feel comfortable enough to set those boundaries. Because I think a lot of times people get afraid to set boundaries, and boundaries are important. So, yeah, just having that as well.
And also don't don't make the boundaries too like, how can I say this, like too much. Like you have to like be like 10 feet away from you at all times. Like don't make it like.
I don't know. That's
I'm just saying, like, don't make the boundaries like, don't make it like.
Wait, guys, everyone, quiet down. Okay, continue.
Yeah, but like you get what I mean.
Yes.
Like don't make it too much.
Can I say something? But like, if that's the thing with boundaries, everybody has their own, you know, set of rules that they'd like others to respect, and if you can't respect them, then maybe this person is not exactly like, you know, your ideal match, whether it's like a friendship, acquaintance, you know, work partners. It's always okay to like be like, step away from that situation instead of like stirring the pot with that person.
Amelia?
I totally agree with that. I think to set standards for yourself in a relationship is so important. Like boundaries are so important, and like you have to respect what you need. And so your boundaries should not be, yes, compromise. I totally agree. Compromising is really important, but also I think that you should really value what you need, and not mess with that because you deserve that.
Before we go to the next person, Taylor, I got you. I just want to say this also translates to other encounters that you have with people. It doesn't just have to be in a relationship. So it can be you meet someone at a party or whatever happens, or you're talking to someone. It doesn't, when we say relationship, it doesn't just mean, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever you guys go with. Taylor?
I think that it's a nice balance of just like straightforwardness and compromise, because like how Amelia said, you never just want to compromise your own standards to please someone else, because like then you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation that like it might not always be easy to get yourself out of. So I think just like setting boundaries and standards from the start and like going into a relationship or even just like a friendship, knowing what you're looking for and what you want is key, just so that like you never forget how you want to feel or what you want to get out of something.
RJ.
I also want to say, I think nowadays a lot of relationships don't have like very specific names. Like it's not a boyfriend or girlfriend. It could be something else. It could be not as tight as that. So I think communication and boundaries, those go together, and establishing those at the beginning stops both parties from getting hurt.
Yeah, that kind of made me think too. You know, I think also with how relationships are now, there's a lot of like games that get played. I'm sure you guys know of those. And it's like, I think because of that, people don't feel like they can express what they need in a relationship and what they need from their partner. So, don't play games, you know? Just don't do it.
That actually goes into a great question, which is, what do you guys feel are, you know, the core needs to a healthy relationship? Communication.
Mutual respect.
Mutual respect. Trust.
Someone said honesty over here.
Honesty, that's a great one. Francesca? Security. Security is another great one. Loyalty. Loyalty, that's a big one as well. Yes.
Like privacy, 'cause, like you want to, like you know, sometimes there's times you're gonna like you want to be away from your partner for a bit. Like you need some like, you know, like your mental health. You know, like you need to like, you know, like calm down for a bit, and like you need to respect that. You know.
So space.
Yeah, yeah, like space. Yeah. That's what I was saying.
Right. How do you guys, like, what are the different forms in asking for consent? What are the different ways you can Okay, what are some ways you can ask for consent? Or make sure that there's consent in a relationship? Are you sure you're okay with it? That's a great one. Anyone else? Olivia?
Not accepting like any answer except for yes. Like it can't be, oh, I guess, sure. Like it has to be a yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you start to feel any kind of like, it's like not like yes, it's like Olivia?
Or if you're like sensing any hesitation at all, to like kind of stop and just not do whatever you guys are doing. You know?
Yeah. Perfect, great. Casimir, do you have any questions you'd like to ask? Does anyone have any questions they'd like to ask? What?
Okay, guys, so we are going to play freeze dance.
Oh my
I have another question.
Okay, Lorelai actually has another question.
I just wanted to discuss the topic of compromise. Like, what exactly does that mean in a relationship? Like, you know, like, because compromise is like, it's like a give and take, but how much are you giving and how much are you taking away? It's that sort of thing.
Okay, you'd like to answer that?
Yeah. So like compromise is like from what I understand of it, it's like when like both people in the relationship are like happy, you know, like they both agree. Like okay, like let me think of an example. Like I can't really think of an example off the top of my head, but like it's like when like both sides of the couple like they agree and like they're happy, you know, they compromise, you know, like they can, I don't know how to explain it, like.
Okay. Olivia?
But also compromise kind of involves like not just thinking about yourself, you have to think about the other person. Like maybe you want something but whatever you want makes the other person uncomfortable, so you have to compromise and try to find middle ground where you're both happy. Like you can't just like it can't just be one-sided where you're the one always giving something up for the other person. Like it has to be both.
Alyssa?
I agree with what Olivia is saying. I mean, you can't be dismissive about like somebody else's feelings. Like you guys have to compromise with each other.
Yeah.
Jaylene?
I think compromise comes down to like if the person that, whether it's like a relationship type of person or a friendship, it comes down to like, are you willing to like sacrifice some of like what you want, like to balance out kind of what the other person wants.
Any of the cast members? Anything on compromise? Arjun?
So I think if you ever feel like you're giving more than you're taking, or if you ever feel like it's unbalanced in a relationship, that's when you know that it's an unfair or an unhealthy compromise.
Francesca?
I think in terms of compromise, like it goes hand in hand with also like setting boundaries with yourself, because at some point, you know, like you said, when there is an imbalance where you're giving more than you're receiving, it becomes detrimental to yourself. So you have to also make sure you keep yourself in check before you're willing to go certain distances for your friend or partner.
Taylor?
Like how my fellow cast members said, it's like know what extent to compromise to, because like you never want to lose yourself, and like that's one thing. Like in a relationship or in a friendship, you don't want to compromise too much. It's kind of just become this person that you're not. So just like know what extent to compromise to. That's how
That's so good. Thank you. Freestance. Does anyone else want to add anything on?
Well, I guess, I mean, for that, it's kind of like, not both people are going to be, like, happy, obviously, with the compromise, but that's the whole point of, like, a relationship, is learning to work together and trying to get through tough situations.
Good answer.
Thanks.
So good.
But, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like, both parties will be happy, but you do it to make the other one happy with an equal amount.
It's up there. So we have a little bit of time left over, but what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to have the cast members act out a toxic relationship.
Yeah, we're doing improv. We're doing improv. Yeah.
It's improv, okay? And then we're putting them on the spot.
Me and you ready?
And then we're also having them act out.
Me and Kaylin are acting one up. We go.
Guys, everyone quiet down, quiet down. So everyone, we're also going to have everyone act out a toxic relationship, a toxic friendship, and what else do you guys think we should have them act out? You guys? They're doing toxic friendship, and then they'll do toxic relationship, one of these. You guys can actually pick who's gonna do toxic relationship out of the cast.
Taylor.
Okay, wait, guys, everyone quiet down. Guys, quiet down. So with the toxic relationship and friendship, we're also then going to have them act it out, but then we want you guys to tell us how you would actually correct it to make it healthy instead of toxic. So, okay, the three of them are going to do a toxic friendship. Mr. You can turn the lights off. Okay, wait, guys, because it's improv, we're gonna ask you for a situation, but raise your hand so then I can call on you. Yeah, guys, less hands. Okay, guys, everyone, raise your hands for a situation. We need a situation for a toxic friendship. Evan.
I'm really affected with Hannah's ex-boyfriend.
Wow. But what's Lorelai's? Okay, Lorelai. Okay. All right, everyone, quiet down. I'm the instigator. Guys, quiet down. Everyone, quiet. Wait, don't start yet. I can see the kid.
Yeah, there is. Oh, sorry.
Are you good at this? Okay, everyone, quiet down. Okay.
This is a social
That's a
network
social
song? Oh my
network.
god.
Okay, ready, everyone? And action.
Alright. So Hannah told me what you did.
What?
You hooked up with her ex-boyfriend.
Okay, yeah. Wait, so that's not the situation though. What happened was I went to the party and Kyle was there, and then he was obviously, you know, he was.
Hey Amelia.
Hey.
Talking about Kyle?
I am. Okay,
Yeah,
like
no, I know.
But I also think it's like kind of childish that you brought Lorelai over.
That I brought Lorelai over?
I think you should have talked about you should have talked about it.
Well,
with
you
me.
did something wrong, so I don't think it really.
Yeah, I don't think you should be fighting.
She's being a good friend.
I don't think
unlike
you should be
you.
fighting her battles. Like honestly, I think that you should have come over here and talked to me.
Okay, fine. Then I'll talk. You shouldn't be making demands when you're the one who's wrong.
But I don't. You guys like have been broken up for like 2 weeks and 2 days, and I just think that's just childish.
Okay. Yeah, but you don't. You have. You weren't thinking of speaking to your best friend about that?
Honestly, no, because they were broken up.
Amelia, you say you're my best friend, and then right when my toxic ex-boyfriend breaks my heart, you're gonna go hook up with him?
Toxic.
Toxic.
Kyle was
You know what he
toxic.
did to me. You know. You know.
And I understand that. Like, you know that I've been there for you like the entire time.
Lie.
So, like,
So you've been
I was literally
been there for
sitting
me.
there by your bed while you were hysterically crying.
Yes,
over
then
it.
why would you
I was
hook up
such a
with
good
him?
friend at
Why
that
would you
point.
hook up
Okay,
with him?
okay, stop.
Now, I want you guys to fix it into a healthy friendship.
But you guys tell us, how would you guys fix it into a healthy? Who do you think should
Fight it out.
Guys, raise your hands, raise your hands, and no fighting. Okay. Raise your hands. Okay.
I feel like Amelia should be a little bit more apologetic.
That's a start.
Lorelai should try to be like settling both of them instead of like picking sides.
Anyone else? Olivia.
I
Over
wasn't
here,
raising,
you have
no,
your
I
hand.
wasn't raising my hand.
Okay. Anyone else? How do you fix this into something healthy? Ava, are you raising your hand? Okay. Olivia.
Okay, you can have open communication and kind of try to talk it out in like a respectful manner, and also just like realize each other's feelings and realize what you did and hold yourself accountable for your own actions and your own mistakes and own up and apologize.
Yes. Are you
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So now you just but make it healthy. So take what they just said.
Everyone makes mistakes. Terrible, crappy mistakes. But you have to, like, she's your best friend, though. Like, you know you shouldn't have done that. And I think you guys should just talk to each other and figure it out. And you should apologize. That was her toxic ex-boyfriend kind.
He was toxic.
Do what you gotta do.
I messed up. I shouldn't have done that to you. I know you didn't deserve it. I think I was just mad at you for stupid past things that I shouldn't have. And you didn't deserve that. And and I love you. And yeah.
That's how Cassie and Maddie's relationship should go. But it didn't. And they're friends. Okay. Now for our next improv scene, we're going to have Taylor Shaw and David do the relationship.
Okay, does anybody have a situation they want them to act out?
What's the situation?
Of course.
No. Let's get that there.
Oh, yeah, we need equal.
Okay, wait, what's the situation? Raise your hand so I can answer.
No, we did that.
Wait, no, we did that. Alyssa. Guys, quiet down because we can't all pick them like Aiden.
How about she thinks that he cheated. She's like insistent that he did, but he didn't.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Hey, Caleb, do it. Okay, ready? Okay, and action.
What's your problem? You literally keep cheating on me every weekend.
Yo, come on. I don't even leave the crib. I don't even leave the crib, man.
You're literally so shady. What are you talking about?
What does that even mean? Tell me
You're
what that
always
means.
going on these drives by yourself. You're always being so silent when you're with
You want me
me.
to tell you why I go on the drive? You want me to tell you?
Why?
Because that's the only place I can play Cardi and you won't stop me from listening to it. The only place I can bump it. And when I bump it in the house, you start yelling at me. Like right now. I can't do anything without you. On my Come on, man.
All your business because you're so shady and you don't tell me anything. You literally don't cheat with all my friends. When we're at parties and stuff, you don't even hang out with me.
Now let me tell you this. I have never cheated with one of your friends, but after today I probably should.
That was Jerry Springer-esque right there. That's what that was. That's exactly
Quiet down. Okay. How can we fix this to be handled in a healthier manner? Olivia.
It feels a little bit like manipulation on both sides. I don't know.
Okay.
I think you could take it down a couple notches with the attitude.
Okay. Aiden, do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, that kind of snowballed into something.
Keisha. Okay, reassurance. That's a big one. That's how you handle it positively.
The fact that she just assumed that he was cheating, but maybe she came off a little nicer about it, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know about the whole all my friends how realistic that is, but anyone else? How can we handle this?
She has no like probable cause. Like she has no evidence that he cheated. Like,
Okay, so given she has no evidence, how can she or he, both of them, handle it in a more positive way?
What's your name?
my name?
Yes.
My name is Savino.
Sabino?
Yeah.
Sabino, how can they handle it in a more positive way?
He could like essentially like she could talk to her friends and then like, you could ask like were you hanging out with my boyfriend last night? And then they could like and obviously if they're her real friends, they should tell her the truth.
That's a great suggestion. That's a great suggestion.
And he's not doing anything wrong. He's just trying to get some alone time.
Okay, so you guys get in there.
I know, man. You need to be up there.
Okay, so now you're gonna do it, but in a healthy manner. Okay, so you think your boyfriend's cheating on you. How do you handle this in a healthy manner?
Sorry, I like the confrontation. Like, very, like.
It came very natural.
Okay.
You should let him listen to Cardi in the house. Everyone quiet down. Action.
Come on, I literally like hate saying this stuff. Like, I would never want to think that you cheated. Like, can you just like show me
Listen,
why?
you can look through my entire phone. The only women I text is you and my mom. That's it. No, I don't like it.
Hang out with them.
No, never have. Come on, let's chill.
So you could listen to Cardi with me.
Okay, and this is the last one. We have Francesca and Arjun.
Doing what?
Gaslighting.
Guys, we have 5 minutes left.
5 minutes. Okay, ready? Yeah, you guys both. Does everyone in here understand what gaslighting is? Okay, great. Well, after seeing this, you'll understand what gaslighting is.
He's gonna be the gaslighter.
Okay, ready? And everyone quiet. Action.
Look, I don't know what you think you saw, but like literally nothing happened.
But everyone saw you guys in the bathroom.
Okay, but like you were too drunk to even know anyway. Like I wouldn't trust what you're talking about.
I literally didn't drink at all tonight. What are you saying?
Okay, all right, sure. I mean, look, honestly, I think. let me think. I'm not a very good gaslighter, I guess. Okay. And even if I did, Like, we're not dating, so it's not that big of a deal, right?
Really?
What?
Alright, guys, quiet down.
I mean, David asked me to hang out earlier. I'm gonna go over there too.
Okay, that's my best friend. That's different. It's not the,
Okay,
it's not
but
the
he's
same
still
thing.
hot. Like, what?
Okay, stop. Freeze. Yeah. Okay, freeze. What's wrong with the situation? Guys, can you guys tell me where the examples of gaslighting were in the situation? Yes.
When he was telling her she was too drunk to know what was going on.
Okay, yes. Anyone else? Where did he gaslight, or when did he gaslight her?
Arjun said they weren't even a thing.
Okay. How can we handle this in a more healthy manner?
Classic George.
Yeah, right. That's
Did you?
Yeah.
Alyssa, guys, quiet down.
I think you should just be honest with her and be like, I think Fran should be like, actually, never mind.
Yeah,
You
no.
should just be honest.
He should
Like,
be
I was
honest.
with the girl in the bathroom. Like,
He should be honest, and quite frankly, he shouldn't be gaslighting her in the first place by saying that she was impaired, or saying she doesn't know what she's talking about, or trying to make her believe that what she believes isn't true.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Now we're going to do a bow for our amazing actors. Okay, take a bow.
One for Leah and Nagi.
Before everyone leaves, please remember to follow ConsentUs.org on Instagram. And if you want to be a part of all the amazing projects we're doing, you can actually just email us and join. We're doing some pretty incredible things.